Okay, so we are going to look at how to use colored pencils and oil pastels, since those seem to be the two choices that you guys are into. Remember, you are not limited to those materials. We're gonna go ahead and start out with colored pencils. So, number one, I'm gonna show you over here. You might fill in an area like this, and you would say, all right, well, that looks pretty good. It's all kind of filled in. There's no white spaces. My pencils are close together, but this is not okay. All right, we have two rules when it comes to colored pencils. Layer, so that means you need to overlap, and wherever there is one color, there's another color, okay? So two colors overlapping. So that means I need, if I have a light blue area, I should have a dark blue colored pencil overlapping to blend together. So one of the common mistakes I've seen you guys do, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the blue color here because you guys will use those a lot. As you guys are going in, you will, it's better off to start lighter like this, okay? But do not leave it like this. Use that first rule and layer. If you start like this and press hard right away, it's going to be very, very difficult to overlap and blend together. So instead, if I want to blend this together, I'm going to overlap these two. And I'm going to continue to lightly overlap until I get my desired color. This will make the blending and overlapping process much easier, and we start to get a nice rich color with that. If I went over here and tried to blend together, it's very difficult to do that. I'll hold this up so you guys can see it. It's very difficult to do that. You can see that you can't really even see it that much because we pressed too hard to start with. So that's why it's better to layer. So we kind of want to do it more like this. Now, one of the best tools for you to use is going to be your white colored pencil, because your white colored pencil can bring colors out, blend things together, and really, really change the way that something looks. So you can see how that does make a difference, okay? Now, one of the other things when we're talking about colored pencils is that it's very, very important to color in with the shape of the object. So notice, as I'm coming in here, my light is going this way, and I know that because of where the shadow is casting here. So this is going to be my darker side of my cupcake. So I am not just coloring in like this, side to side. I'm actually coloring in a curved manner that fits this line here. So you need to keep in mind what your objects, what kind of objects you're shading in, and that's going to make a difference. So layer as you go. So I've naturally already, you can see a dark to light value, but now this is when the overlapping of colored pencils is really going to start to make those colors look really, really rich and finished. Okay, so you'd continue this for this. I'm not going to finish this entire example because I think you guys should kind of understand. But let's just take a look at how you can see that the pencil is following the curve of the shape, and we're starting to blend colors together. Now, you are not just limited to the colors, to using one material. You might decide to combine materials. So, for instance, details that we're trying, small details, colored pencils are going to be better. Larger spaces like backgrounds are going to be better for oil pastel. So I recently had a student who was planning on making kind of a sunset picture, and he was going to use colored pencils for the entire thing. So I suggested using oil pastels instead because you can really blend them together and create a really cool effect with them, and it's gonna save you so much time. So if I just wanted to come in and I wanted to put a variety of colors in my background, I would probably choose to use oil pastels, and it's really important that you're mixing these together. So even if we're not doing a water effect, which I'll show you here in a minute, but it's important that you kind of pick colors that are in common to kind of blend them together. So I have blues, purples, and I'm going to use white to kind of fill this in. So go ahead and watch how this can be so much quicker. Okay, so as I was doing this, I realized that I didn't even pay attention to where the direction of my light was coming up from. So if I was going along with this picture, my lighter area should be over here. So just reverse this, flip it. For this purpose though, it's okay. All right, so one of the cool things, you can see that I have this kind of put together. It's blended very well together. Well, it's blended okay together. But then we can use that oil pastel with the baby oil and take a Q-tip, which are on the center table, and start with your lighter areas, and you can start to mix these together. And it's gonna kind of create a painterly effect. So as I go off this little square here, you can kind of see how it's gonna bring that color out a little bit. So this is a really great tool to kind of make it look almost like paint. And if you wanna do this, you might even just try using paint, okay? So as this dry, you can see that it can really mix together, but I was going pretty fast. So you can kind of see the Q-tip strokes in there, so just be careful as you do that you kind of go in one direction, but it will do a really cool effect. So those are a couple options for you guys, okay? So like I said, you can do lots of different things with them. I'll show you guys how to do this one later, but lots of different options. Remember, we don't want light colored pencils like this. The two rules: layer, and wherever there's one color, there needs to be another color over top. So we really want some nice finished pieces as we continue these drawings.